Sorry about that noise. Kitty's in his cat box. I thought he was playing with something. He's been running around like crazy this morning. In the morning time, our kitten is a psychopath. Hold on, I don't have nails to turn off my ringer. Hold on a minute. You want to know why? Because I rip them off. Aw, good for him. Lucky bastard. To be honest, I just had a good conversation with my good friend Scarlett. I've been constipated this morning. Too much information if it is, but I ended up taking some laxative gummies, and what do you know? In about 5 to 10 minutes, 2 times. So thank you for that. Wildfire update. There's a wildfire? Oh my God. Hey, Jer. Hey, Angela. High Priestess. Ooh, the kitty's still in the cat box. Can you hear him? I had to turn off his fountain because when I stream, we have the little kitty fountain here, and oh, he just said meow. Scarlett! Scarlett, did you get my update? I pooped 2 times. Twice. Thank you for your support. She was supporting me. It was a really deep conversation. Very supportive. Hey, Megan. What was I saying about pooping? I was saying something. I don't know. I apologize about that. I get really excited when I get to go. You know, the older you get, you've been wondering about my regularity. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm trying to quit nicotine, so I'm vaping nicotine-free vape. So I think that messes with your body somehow. Oh, that's what I was saying about the kitty fountain. The noise of it gets into my microphone, but luckily, when we move here to our new place, when it's finished being built, I'm going to have an office because it's 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathrooms, and like 2 living room areas. Everyone poops. Yeah. I used to be really uncomfortable. Listen, this is the truth, okay? I'm going to be cut and dry with you. The truth about pooping is if you're not comfortable about it, and if you're one of those people that I've been my entire life, till recently, to where I'm 41 years old, I don't have time to be backing myself up. So if you're the type of person who holds your poop or your farts in public, do yourself a favor and go to the bathroom and take yourself a dump. Sorry, but you're going to be helping yourself. You're going to have back problems. You're going to, bingo, magnesium. Scarlett! Thank you, Scarlett. Fiber. I don't think there's fiber in those laxatives I took. They're really good too. I kind of want to have more. But if you don't, and if you're not open about pooping, you know, you're going to have problems. And I'm not a doctor, but let me tell you what, you start holding those in and you start holding in all of that stuff, you're going to have problems in the long run. So please do yourself a favor. Okay, do a little homework. And today, if you will, turn to your neighbor and say, hey, I'd like to poop. Say it one time and you'll get more and more comfortable saying it every single time, and you're welcome. Okay? Yeah, exactly, Jer. And you know what? My doctor said that I have IBS just from me explaining my symptoms. He didn't really test me. And he put me on this IBS medication a long time ago that doesn't really work that good. But yeah, I mean, you do. And I think it comes from holding in your farts. Because I will not fart. I mean, unless nobody's around in public and they can't hear me, and then I'll do it. But I can't fart around friends or family. And it really starts to hurt my right shoulder blade at the end of the day because it's all held in, and then I can't breathe, and I'm just so used to holding in my farts. Hey, someone I used to know. Hey, you've commented before. Someone I used to know a long time ago. Happy Tuesday, Wildflower Tea. Magnesium is good, but it dries out your skin. You got to be careful with those diuretics and stuff because it starts to dry out your skin. Oh, you have no colon, have ulcerated coli. I'm so sorry. Hey, Melody. Prayers for you, Fiona, and prayers for Melody, you guys. I don't want to say what it is unless she wants to, but prayers for her. Okay. Hey, Darlene. It's trial and error when it comes to IBS, Robbie, with medication. I find that staying away from stress and being rushed, because I'm a very impatient person, I find that I have more comfortable regularity. Okay. Question. Hey, Kansas Sunflower. So sorry to start your morning off with pooping, but I think everybody should start their morning off with a good poop. Don't you? And prayers for good poops for everyone. Okay. Oh, okay. Melody lost her little fur baby. So if you could give her some hearts, she's having a really hard time with it. Look at Melody. I hope that made you smile. Little gizmos in the background sending you love. I know you love and miss him. I'm so sorry. Hello, Jen Lu. And yes, pooping is very, very important. If the poop ain't good, the day won't be either. Nope, because you're going to be cranky. And I think there's a lot of constipated, cranky people, specifically on YouTube. And I'm one of them. Like I said, I just went ahead and I pooped 2 times. So now that the poop talk is out of the way, I want to apologize about that. Gather around, grab your laxatives or your caffeine or whatever it is that'll help you have a healthy dump. No, no chance, no, no dance, no chance, no dance, no chance. Give me second chances. That's so cool! I won! Yay! Ow! Ow! My Hey, Angela Elba. You should ask your neighbor, have you pooped today, Kansas Sunflower? Diverticulitis. Diverticulitis. Hey, Bechdel Real. What is diverticulitis? You're going to buy a composting toilet instead of a plumbing. Hey, Mel Hawks, love you. And a second toilet, 1700 AUD recycling. Wow, that sounds like a fancy car or something. That sounds really exciting. I still could not poop in front of him. Oh, no. And don't go in the bathroom. I make sure the fan and, the clear and the air freshener and all that. You stay away from the bathroom when I'm done in it. And what's with public stalls, by the way? Poop talk, Augie. Augie, you know what I'm talking about. The men in here. I know women are used to stalls, but men, like when we have to pull down our pants in public stalls, our dingling hangs out, okay? And there's like cracks this wide that people can see through. It's like, what's the point of having a stall? Everybody could see me doing everything in here. It's so stupid. Oh, and hold on. Speaking of that, just one more pooping thing and I'm done with pooping, okay? I bought a bidet. Haven't installed it because I think we're just going to wait until we move into our new home. Okay. And I love you, Mel Hawks. Oh, welcome, Megan. Little pockets where food gets caught. Have your gallbladder. Interesting. I really wish, Nancy, that they would take my gallbladder out, but they just don't get me started on doctors. Okay. Oh, it recycles your poop and your. Oh, wow, that's does it like fertilize gardens and stuff? I guess we're all eating some sort of feces particles somewhere that flew into the wind or something. God, I'm sorry I started off with this conversation, but I wanted to say one more thing about it now that my mind's on it because the caffeine's starting to kick in. I mean, technically, we're all eating weird stuff and we don't even see it or know it. You could be eating anything right now, even this cough drop. The person in the factory that made this cough drop, you know when you fart, poop particles fly out of your butt? Hey, Gen X! And when they do, they could land on cough drops and stuff. They could land on anything. We're technically surrounded by feces. Not only on YouTube. You're celiac and you eat gluten still, and tramadol backs me up. Oh, I know how that goes, Angela. Like certain medications, I use psyllium husk. It's like raw fiber. Scarlett's gonna start screaming, fiber! We are like animals that poop, and we in the wild. Oh my god, the cat's pulling down my mouse. Literally. Kitty! He's pulling on my mouse cord. Doesn't cause environmental damage like chemicals. Yeah, I guess every food we've ate has grown from fertilizing poop. It's very important to close the lid prior to flushing because of particles. Yeah, I heard that. You shower every time you poop, Jason. That's beautiful, actually. That really is. I appreciate that. I really do. You always think about poop particles when you're handling money because it's covered in germs and, yeah, strippers. When you flush your toilets as well, also make sure you close the lid before you flush. Yep. Hey, Michael. Sorry, we're talking about poop particles. Anyways, Jur, I listened to your live yesterday, and actually I would like to point something out. Because as you guys know, I've been watching Crab Leg mukbangs, but I lurk. Welcome, Welsh. I lurk in the shadows of YouTube. And I listen, and I observe, and I watch. And Kitty! Hold on a minute. Ready? Kitty, go get it. His ball was stuck under my desk. Good morning, Tara, Trisha. Hope you have a good day, too. Oh, Stretch in here? Is my husband in here? I don't see him. Oh, well, anyways. He shouldn't be in here. But I did listen to some of Jur's, and I actually, if you don't mind, Jur, I'm actually going to click on something. I'm not going to listen to it, but I just want to check something really quickly. It was on your Jur live, correct? Yes. I'm just going to check something real fast because I do have my opinions. Now, listen, I don't know the exact details. However, some of you may or may not agree, but all opinions are welcome, okay? Good morning, Bitch Talks. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Delaney. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what, Jur? Actually, I don't know if we'll have completely different, but a little bit. Yep, just as I seen. I want to point something out if you don't mind, Jur. Now, listen, everybody probably has an opinion. Now, if you don't know, Zav Girl and Natasha Cooper. Now, listen, I never really followed the Gannon case, but apparently, now, first off, I'm going to say part of this, in my opinion, I believe is completely twisted to make one of them look worse, and that would be Natasha. Now, listen, somebody said, well, I first heard that Zav Girl and Natasha Cooper, like, were charging for Gannon. How do you pronounce his last name? Stauch? Because I don't follow that case. His autopsy pictures, okay? So when I heard that, I was like, oh. And people were like, that's a child. And, you know, lots of different people have opinions on that. So the first thought that I have, and then I'm going to show something from Jurors Live, is like if you're watching comedy, true crime, like supporting a channel, if you belong to someone's Patreon, stuff like that, it's on Patreon. High Priestess says, so they're charging. I get that. Now, this may sound a little brutal, and then I'll get into one of the people that's kind of dragging them right now. I think you know who that is. But if you're covering true crime, I think it's all about the way you're approaching it. And like from having my own experience with Zav Girl in the past, I don't know her as well as Natasha Cooper, but I've paneled with her and I've known her in the past. You know, people just kind of lose touch on YouTube. I never really had a problem with her, and I tried to find what people were talking about, and I couldn't find it. Where was this shared on her channel? Because I saw a video where it says case file pictures, and I didn't see any autopsy pictures on there. Some people are saying Natasha has it in Patreon, but here's my opinion on this first and foremost. If you are in true crime specifically, yeah, Teresa, I'd rather not see the photos myself. But just out of curiosity, I was like, where is this? And like, what context was it in? And I couldn't find anything. But from knowing both of them, and I know Natasha a lot more than I know Zav Girl. Oh, they both have it on their Patreon. This is going to come off blunt, but I'm just going to say it because it's my honest feeling. If you're doing comedy and then people pay you in your Patreon, like that's what they're paying for. Now, this is not comedy, by the way. If you're doing true crime, if you're doing cooking shows, if you're doing fitness training, if you're doing anything like that, that means that you are a fitness trainer, or you're an actor, or you're a comedian, or you're a musician, or you're a true crime person. Now, in my personal opinion, I think everybody that does true crime on YouTube, even myself, knows that if you're covering a popular case, it's going to get views. Okay. Now, I want you to pay attention to what I'm going to show on jurors right now, because I noticed there's people who have good opinions on this and opposing opinions on this, and everybody has the right to their opinion. But what I've heard a lot of people talking about in the last 24 hours, well, specific people, is saying that Zav Girl and Natasha Cooper are like abusing and exploiting these pictures in this case. But meanwhile, they're tagging the name of the child, the deceased child, or putting the name in the video. So I'm like, hold on a minute. It makes me wonder. Now, I want to show you something on jurors quickly, because juror did not do that. Matter of fact, it just says Blue Monday on there. It doesn't even say anyone else, and Natasha or Zav Girl's name. And this is the correct live, right, juror? This is one you did yesterday. It doesn't have Gannon tagged. Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me hit show more. This is her description. Live, juror, Krama. Yeah. And, you know, they spoke their opinion. Bitch Talks spoke her opinion. Tagged no one. They both did, in my opinion, and it was just wrong. Yeah, and, you know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. And Scarlett, I saw you on jurors yesterday, too, and I was listening. But it didn't seem like you were doing it because you had genuine feelings about it. And hi, everyone coming in. Sorry, I'm on a rant. But there's one person in particular, I think you guys know who that is. I've had my own issues with this person before. They often say that people, oh, they're exploiting this, or they're doing it for money. That person's mommy ramblings. Okay. Let's just get that out of the way. But instead of putting, hold on a minute. Instead of putting, I don't want to speak incorrectly, so hold on. Let me pull this up. Now, you may or may not agree with these people posting autopsy photos. And I can't stomach stuff like that. I'm bad with gore and scary movies and stuff like that. So I'll just say that it's not my cup of tea. I mean, if it's public and it's everywhere, I don't think first of all, to me, I can't stomach that. So I would never even want to look at that. I know I have friends that are into gore, and they're really into true crime scene photos, like from the scene and autopsy photos. My sister-in-law is a coroner, and I mean, she had a notebook with her she'd carry around of like photos and shit when she was going through school and stuff. And she would bring it over for dinner parties and shit. People would pass it around. I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. I don't want to look at that. Bye, Megan. Scarlett says, I did have a feeling about it. It was wrong, and my feelings were genuine about it because it was just wrong. Yeah, and you're entitled to that opinion, absolutely. Hey, CJ and her forged receipts. For some reason, you seem nice, and I don't have a problem with CJ right now, but you've always been nice, so that's why I let you stay around. Bobby Ohio says, hold on a minute. What the fuck? This cat just spit on me. Natasha or Bobby Ohio says Natasha showed nothing from the waist down. She cropped as much as she could to preserve the identity, only showing the wounds. She did nothing. And hi, GMD. There are so many other channels out there speaking on this other than MRB, believe it or not. There are hundreds of true crime channels on YouTube, some with hundreds of thousands of subs. Yes. But I feel like there's one, like Merb, okay, I have my own experience with her. She's just a very complicated person, hard to get along with, hard to speak to and communicate with. But I mean, specifically, I want to kind of highlight these titles because this is Mommy Rambling's channel. She's saying, you know, these people are tragedy pimps, exploits 11-year-old, and then she puts Gannon is it stock? Because I don't want to say it wrong. Stock. Exploited. There's his name. There's his name. There's his name. Now, I understand, like, you're going to put in the title what you're talking about, but I'm going to click on this video real quick just to see. I don't see Natasha's name or Zavgirl's name in the title. Just Gannon. I don't even see them tagged. No, Zavgirl and Natasha Cooper aren't tagged. So here's what I think about that. Wouldn't you rather just address them and put their name in the title? Because in my personal opinion, again, this is my opinion, if you're calling somebody a tragedy pimp, why don't you just put their name there? You're literally putting that child's name, and it's a popular case. Lots of people have got tons of views from that name, just like they have with many other popular true crime names. So in my opinion, that's tragedy pimping too. Because if you're going to address them or talk about them, and if you notice, I did not, and I will not tag that Gannon kid's name in my title because I don't even know anything about that case. But I know Zavgirl and Natasha Cooper. So yeah, you may think it's gross and disgusting and stuff like that. But in my personal opinion, I think if you're no, Darlene, I think it was water because I just put his water bowl here. If you're gonna watch true crime, you're probably gonna see stuff like that. And I don't know, do they? I'm sure they have a disclaimer saying, "Hey, disclaimer: these are really detailed photos." And I know a lot of people have opposing opinions on if it's a child or, you know, a mother, or, you know, they have different opinions on it. It hits home differently with certain people, but it's still true crime. So you are going to see stuff like that, unfortunately. Are there going to be people that take advantage of it? Yeah. A lot of people take advantage of stuff. A lot of people take advantage of when there's popular news cases. That's what news reporters do. They want to be first on the scene. So people are also going to do that with their content when it comes to true crime, unfortunately. And yeah, I did see that, that his parents are devastated, and I think his grandmother made a post, right? And in those cases, I mean, I kind of started doing true crime with the Chris Watts case just because I live so close. And then some other cases. And then I love doing the paranormal spirit box stuff. Like that stuff is fun. And I saw comments and also from Shanann's family and stuff that it does make you stop and be like these people they're hurting and they're grieving. So it's almost like how do I say this without sounding like a dick? Because I don't want to say it disrespectfully because, people fucking get shit wrong. So give me a minute. I need to think about how I'm going to say this part. While I read CJ's comment. She says, I just know if my kid was murdered, I wouldn't want anyone on YouTube showing the autopsy photos. But then I understand if it's on court TV or released, a lot of people will use them. Yeah. And yeah, Scarlett, like in my opinion, I wouldn't do that, but a lot of people can stomach that kind of stuff. So it's like, you don't really know. Like, I think that, how do I say, because this is going along with what I was just, I'm just going to fucking say it. I'll probably sound like an asshole. Look, when stuff happens and it's out there and there's news stories about it or whatever, it's going to be everywhere, unfortunately. Now, like what Jur said, the family was devastated and they've probably been devastated ever since this happened. Unfortunately, it's just like I always say, like with the movie Scream. It's kind of a Gale Weathers situation. Ooh, I'm going to put her up on the screen. Gale Weathers. Like, if you watch these movies, she kind of has a heart throughout the series and each movie, but her job is to report on the scene of a murder and about murder cases. Now, a lot of you may say, it's not these YouTubers' jobs. Well, it's a hobby that kind of has become a job for them, and they do make money on it. I love Gale Weathers. And a lot of you may say, oh my God, but that's disgusting. How could they do that? Well, it's just like a news anchor. So if somebody in your family was in a news anchor that goes and reports on the scene all the time, and let's say they have to show up to the scene of a crime of a child that's been murdered, or, obviously they're probably not going to show autopsy photos on the scene of a crime or a dead body and stuff, but they have to go and report, and that's what they do. And they enjoy doing that also because that's their job. Are they sick for doing it, or maybe do they just have different interests? Do you see what I'm saying there? So I'm not trying to say that it's completely wrong or completely right. I'm just saying everybody has different interests. So I think this was an opportunity for some people to just shame and point the finger and be like, you're disgusting. Just like they always do to, well, I don't see Zav Girl getting dragged a lot. I know she has before, but Natasha does, and she can handle her own, but she does cover true crime. And whether you think she's doing it for views or not, she's still doing it and she's still getting views. 50 Shades of Blonde says Natasha's taking is donating her taking her charity. Hold on. Natasha is donating her takings to charity. Oh, well, there you go. Now a lot of people will say, she's not going to do that. She's lying. Well, you know what? She doesn't. This is what she does for a hobby turned into what she does to also make money. And that may sting when it hits your ears, but it's true. Natasha Cooper does true crime. She also does drama. She does lots of other stuff, but she does true crime. And that kind of stuff is going to be popped up on there. That's fine and dandy, but when someone seeks high and low to pay for it, it was a copycat thing and just wrong. Yeah. And I see where you're coming from. And that's why I was saying everybody's opinions are welcome. just as long as you guys aren't trashing anybody in here. But that's my opinion on it. I think if that certain topic is going to be spoke about, unfortunately, those photos are going to be seen, especially if they're on the internet already. Now, I would never pay, I mean, unless I was already supporting a Patreon, I would never pay or join to see photos like that just because I think I won't be able to eat for a long time and I get traumatized easily with like gross stuff like that. Like, gore and shit like that. Trash talk safe for your channel. So I wouldn't pay for it, especially if it's already public. So I would just Google it if I wanted to see it. But then again, if you want to support that person, I mean, that's your choice. You're donating your body to the body farm to help. Ooh, to science, right? That's what my parents are doing too. Nobody would want my body unless they wanted to take advantage of it a little bit because I'm hot. Family is planning on taking whatever legal action they can. I don't know if they can do anything. Yeah, I mean, can they? I don't really know. And then here's where you become this is where you really need to test your Gale Weathers abilities, because for the longest time I was like, ooh, yeah, we're on the scene of like where a crime happened. And it was interesting and it was fun to go out there with Mexi and like explore and like be there and show you guys and stuff, like going to different places. But at the same time, it tests your sympathy skills. It tests your ability to see how far the line is to where it becomes disrespectful, or how many times you can talk about the same freaking thing. And we did see family members and stuff or people that knew some of the victims of the cases we covered saying, to not to us specifically, but to many people, please stop, saying this or that, or just let the family be in peace. And I respect that. But then at the same time, you're also asking somebody who does true crime to like stop doing true crime. Because listen, a lot of people may be talking about true crime that happened 50 years ago. Maybe some of their family members aren't even around anymore. Maybe some of them are. I mean, look at Sharon Tate. Her sister advocates every freaking time somebody is up for parole. She goes there and protests. But when is it too soon and when is it not too soon? When is it okay to talk about something? Because when you guys are covering true crime, any of you on your channels, you are talking about the death of somebody. You may not be showing their autopsy photos. You may not be going in detail, but everybody has a different style. But you're still talking about somebody's dead relative. They have a dead relative. They have a relative that's alive somewhere. So you're still in some way, if you want to use the word exploiting, you're still doing that. So when I saw Mommy Ramblings talking about this, and she didn't have Natasha Cooper's name in her title or Zav Girl, she only had Gannon's name. That's when I was like, really? You're calling somebody a tragedy pimp? And I'm going to be nice. I don't even think she's really that upset about it. I think she just wanted a reason to go at Natasha, to be honest. That's my personal opinion because I have my own personal experience with that woman. She pushed me over my limit and I finally snapped on her and cussed her out and said really mean stuff because I was blamed for something I didn't do for the longest time. And finally I said, fuck it, I'm going to fucking do it because you pissed me off. Don't get me started on her. Okay. Now, Scarlett, or if anybody wanted to add their 2 cents, I will drop a link. I'm not going to let you up if I don't know you because there's mean fucking people around here. So there's the link. From my understanding from people that talk to the family, they have talked to and retained a lawyer. I mean, everybody's entitled to start a lawsuit for something, but I mean, I don't really see what it could be for. Because autopsy photos, I mean, a lot of them are public, unfortunately. I mean, speaking of Sharon Tate, I accidentally clicked on a crime scene photo from Sharon Tate, and that was horrific because that's one of the most horrific cases I've ever heard of. It's terrible. Home invasions, like Scarlett home invading me, saying fiber, fiber, fiber.
Fiber.
So I heard your opinion on it. So, Scarlett, if you want to explain to people what you thought, because you're entitled to your opinion too. Hey, Brandy.
Thank you for having me up, honey. And I'm going to be quick because, I'll take forever with this. You know, it was wrong. Okay. I think it was wrong to actually put money out there and say, it's like, oh, if you give me a couple of dollars, I'm going to show you my private part, and that's basically how I see it as. These
Mm-hmm.
people were pimping out money to share this information. And I don't think that was right. They did not get the okay from the parents. If they did, that's a different story. Okay. That is fine and dandy. But if you didn't and you're just running your mouth and wanting money and collecting money for this, and I get that people are into true crime and do the true crime and everything, but you just they don't do it the right way. They did not do it the right way. And if they did get the okay from the parents or did not, then they should have done it or didn't do it. That's my opinion. And to go so far as to complain, oh, I only got $115, $50 from this. I'm sorry. I can't. And you know where I stand. And I'm devastated more for the fact that it's about the kid and his parents. It's not about the whole case itself. It's about the parent and the child.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say, oh, well, you don't have a child, so you don't understand. But, you know, people that don't have children kind of don't understand how that feels, but also they do because they do have feelings, and everybody is entitled to have a feeling. You may
Yeah.
not have a child and you still have a feeling about this. You know, Yesterday I was in Jura's panel and there were people there that didn't have children and still had an opinion, and it was the right opinion. But when you go so far as to wanting money for a Patreon to allow people to see information that is okay, maybe it is public, maybe it's not because it's in a different state or whatever, but still, did they go to the parent and say, can I have permission to show your son's body? Did they do that? No, they did not. They went so far as to go to the court or however it works, and it was explained yesterday by Jen Liu, and the legal ramifications and the legalized uh, proceeding of going forward with it. If that makes sense. But they didn't. The whole point is you did not ask the parent. You just exploited the child, and the child is gone. The child cannot come back and say, hey, that was wrong. I did not want my penis exposed and
Mm.
called a marshmallow.
Yeah, I saw someone put
And
that
that's
comment where somebody
disgusting.
said, I mean, somebody in my comments, I didn't see the actual comment,
Hmm.
but I also saw a comment where, because I
Thank you,
didn't
Bitsy.
see
Thank
these
you.
photos and I
Yeah.
don't want to, but
Yeah.
from what I understand, like Natasha didn't show the private parts and they were cropped.
But either
Um,
way, she charged money for this. I'm sorry.
right. And
I
what I
get where
was
you're
saying is
coming
I
from.
wouldn't pay, like, and I know this may sound bad, but this is just my honest opinion. I don't care if it's like what the picture is, if
Yeah.
it's public, no matter if it's like, I mean, I would never even want to see like the free crime scene photos, but if it was a photo of like Doja Cat, who I love, and she was naked or whatever, and it was a public photo, me personally, unless I really wanted to support that person's channel, I wouldn't pay for it. I'd be like, it's already public over there. Uh,
I
so
get
to me,
that.
that's the only thing in my opinion that I disagree with in the situation. But like what you were saying, everybody has kind of different styles. Like you said, she didn't do it the right way. Like everybody has different styles of doing stuff. And some people, like some of my friends or people in the true crime community, I'm like, wait a minute, you're obsessed with serial killers? Like, I'm not obsessed with true crime,
Yeah.
but I love a good mystery,
Yeah.
and I love a good, and like it's entertainment to people, unfortunately. And a
Yeah.
lot of these people that cover true crime, like, I'm sure none of these people ask for permission to do a lot of stuff. So, I mean, would it be respectful to ask for permission? Yeah, I completely agree. It would be respectful to be like, hey, I'm so and so. I'm going to be covering the case of your child or whatever. Let me
Hmm.
know if there's any issues. But I mean, not everybody even thinks to do that. To be honest, I've
Yeah, you're
never
right.
done that
You're
with any
right.
of the true crime I did in the past. But then again, I don't do true crime anymore because of the crazy people.
I hear you. I hear you. I totally agree with you on that. And,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and this is where YouTube and all these social media platforms come in. What you need to do is they need to say, okay, you're a true crime person, you stay in the well, don't stay in the true crime area, but like, okay, you have a title of true crime, you're a fashionista, you're a foodie person, you
Mm-hmm.
have all these titles. Me, I'm the author slash fun slash shithead, be it as it may, whatever it is. But we have all these titles that we go by, so why aren't there rules and regulations for the people with the titles to be okay to say, okay, I'm a YouTube creator. I would like to have some information. I have legit YouTube experience. Here's my paperwork. Here's my resume. And can I have the file, please?
Mm.
Now, the court should be able, or the police or whomever, should be able to. You see, this is all networking. It goes into networking where we need to have legalized proof in saying, we need this for a case. I'm working on a case. Can I have the information? Is it okay with the parents to sign this so I can have the information? you know but it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. And you know it really should be that way. It really should, and I'm waiting for the day that that happens, because not everybody, I mean, anybody can become an author.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can, have a creed. Anybody can make up a name. But when you are publishing a book, you need to have.
You mean like this one?
Yes. Yes, two of them. Two of
Two of them.
them. Now you need to post those on your boobies and be like,
Yeah.
"Show me your books. Show me your book." I'm
Anyway,
kidding.
sorry, keep going.
It's okay. But you need to have it legal. You need to go and get it legalized. You need to go to Washington, not go there, but like, you need to work with Washington in the copyrights, and you need to get it copywritten, and you need to go through all these steps. Now, if I have to do that, and you have to do that with your merch, and this person has to do that, like Chanel has to do that with their handbags or whatever, then you know what? These people should be able to do it too. Now,
Mhm.
this is where I'm standing up for them.
Hang on just real quick. Hey
Sure.
guys, please don't trash Zav or Natasha in the chat, because I know everybody has their opinions and experiences with them. I love Natasha, you guys know that, and Zav. I mean, I haven't spoke to her in a while, but I also don't have a problem with her. So if you guys could just be respectful. Sorry.
That's okay. Um, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, that they need to get it legalized. They need to
Yeah.
go through the process. And if you can't go through the process, then you should not be able to post pictures of a deceased child, and offer a Patreon for it, and get a Patreon for it. Now, if Natasha is serious about going and donating that money, I give you kudos. I give you kudos.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even going to ask for the receipts. But, you know, that's the right move. But how come she said that after the fact. She didn't say that during the fact.
Well,
Did she get caught and was like, "Oh shit, I'll donate it"? You know,
mhm.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. The mentality and the legalization and I don't know. That's my opinion. That's where I'm coming from. It was wrong.
Yeah, well, and also, because everybody can kind of speculate and be like, oh, well, she said this or donated it for that.
Hmm.
She also could have been like, hey, I'm sorry if I offended people. Let me, do something nice for you guys with the money or whatever. So she could have done it for many reasons.
Yeah.
And like what I was saying about people, like there's some people, and I was just thinking this when I woke up today
Besides
before
pooping.
I couldn't poop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is,
I read you
is
well.
like I was scrolling through Facebook and there's this guy and he lives here in Denver. He's been my friend on Facebook for a long time. He's a very attractive guy and he's always posting selfies and never a mean post or anything, always smiling. I cannot help but every time I see his photo and when he posts something, and I'm not going to say who it is, I think one day I'm going to see him on the news for murder because I can see it in his eyes. So
Mhm.
I think personally, there's a lot of people in true crime that are obsessed for certain reasons, but I think there's a lot of hidden sociopaths out there that get some sick pleasure out of true crime. So it is kind of like putting I like porn out there for people like that want to kill or something, or people that just like gore.
Yeah.
So in my personal opinion, whether it's like a kid or an adult, I don't want to see stuff like that at all. But then
No.
again, some people do, and they're not sociopaths. They just like seeing stuff like that, or they're interested. And, you know, and a lot of people will say, because I've seen them say it in this chat and about the topic, okay, but this is a child. And I'm not a parent, so I can't relate to that.
But you
But
still
I,
have feelings.
yeah, like my pets, or I mean, I
Yeah.
held my little hamster in my hands her last few hours while she passed away, Carol. So
Yeah.
if I saw something like that, it would hurt. But at the same time, and I'm not saying, well, they should expect it, so it's their fault they looked, because we're human and the internet is around. But when you have a case that is that popular and you cannot turn on the television without seeing your dece- you know deceased relative's name, your whoever the victim is,
Yeah.
or can't get on the internet, then I'm not saying for them to stay away, but it's probably a good idea for your own mental health to not tune into stuff like that, because you're
Yeah.
probably going to see stuff that's really going to hurt.
I'm going to bring this up, and I rarely talk about this. I mean, I did in the very beginning when I came out here. I was involved in the Michael Valva case out here on Long Island because not only is it 5 minutes away from my house, but my son is friends with one of the schoolmates that was in Michael Valva's class,
Mm,
in Thomas Valva's class. Sorry, the son's class, and there was idle chat going on about it before this ever happened, before the case ever happened.
mhm.
And one of the officers that I had to deal with at the time was Michael Valva, even though that he was not supposed to be in the jurisdiction that he was in at the time when my divorce happened. And so I kind of leaned on working with the case with my coworkers to
Mhm.
help out the mother, Justina Valva. And I did see pictures, I did see autopsies, I did see it all. And that is why I cannot go and deal with children's cases. And this is why I stopped doing it. Same reason with Gabriel Fernandez's case and all these little children's cases and missing kids. But it also I also wanted to do it because I wanted to have the experience of knowing that this shit could happen to my child.
Yeah.
My kid can go missing. My kids are my life. I'm a single mother. I adore them to death. And if anything was to happen, then I I know the proper protocol to take and I know how it would feel.
Yeah.
And I know that's not a really great, analogy of being a parent and wanting to get involved in a case to know, but I also wanted to help out the mother because our community came together and helped her out, and I was part of that. And I didn't do it for fame. I was at the courthouse. The cameras were on me too, and I didn't do it for fame. I did it for the proper protocol of knowing that I'm helping out in my community and helping a mother with,
Mhm.
this problem. But I can't do this anymore. And this whole case that happened, it made me realize what was wrong and how to take proper protocol and what to do in the proper protocol with this case. Now, what they did was not right. They should have went to the parents. They should have asked, and that's it. That's the end of the story. And they didn't.
What
And
about uh,
yes,
sorry to interrupt, but I'm
that's
I'm
fine.
seeing kind of like a good comment from Jerry D saying, I personally think it needs to be behind Patreon, so not just anyone can click and view on it. So of course, she may be making money off of it, but would you agree with that? Or I think that that's also like, yeah, they are making, if it is behind a paywall, they're making money on it and stuff, but it does make it harder for people like the family members or people that don't want to see it to just randomly click on it and
Yeah.
be behind a paywall with a disclaimer. What do you think about that?
I think that they if they said in their description that this money or all monies will go to the parents or whatever they need, or their legal fund or whatever, that is okay. Also, it's not okay because still there's somebody's child out there being exposed, so it's like a 50-50 type of thing.
Hmm.
It's like half yes, half no, only if there is goodness behind it, but there's no goodness in any of this. There's no goodness in any of this. If they're supporting, if they're friends of the family, if they're, and they're supporting this and, they're going out and going to donate the money, to the family or to a organization or to their legal fund, yes. But then again, no, because a child is still being exposed. A child was exposed. You can't take this back. The marshmallow comment cannot be taken back. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry if everybody thinks that it's, I'm a bitch about
Who
this
made
or
that
anything.
comment? Was it just a random?
I don't know who did. It didn't say. All I saw was that somebody posted it or reposted it. And
Because
I
I
didn't
mean,
see
just
who
from what
did.
I know from Zav Girl and Natasha, even though you guys have your problems, I don't think either one of them would be okay with that comment.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think so either. But
Mhm.
I think that it being snapshotted and clipped and whatnot and then aired again, that's no. No. I mean, where are people's morals?
Mhm.
Now, the people that pay, the subscribers that paid to see all of this, that's their wrong. That's their doing. That's where I'm thinking, like, okay, do I want you in my chats? Do I want you to be on my panel with a mentality like that? No, I don't.
Right. Peach says something. I mean, that's a good point too. Peach is like,
You can make
what do you
this.
think like the line is, or compared to people, let's say somebody is speaking, it may be more classy to other people, or, to me, I don't think either way, in my personal opinion, like it makes a difference, except I don't want to see the visuals, but I also don't want to hear details. So I tune out.
Hmm.
But there are people that do want to hear the details of an autopsy or
Hmm.
exactly what happened, exactly, they're into that. And sometimes people are visual people. So, what about people on YouTube that are talking, like that talk about the details of the autopsy? Because they make money too, or just the fact that people have covered this Gannon case and it's a
Hmm.
child and they make money off of it.
I think, again, if you put in your description, all monies are going to go to the legal fund or whatnot and diddly squat, I think
Mhm.
that's
But
appropriate. I think that that's appropriate. But then again, but it's again 50-50. It's a hard, it's hard. It's hard to realize, you
who is
know,
that? Sorry again to cut you
it's
off, but
okay.
who's that? There's a lady that blew up in true crime. Not oh God, what's the girl with the glasses? She makes the coffee. And
Oh shit.
there's another one. They're
Mm,
real pretty. One has dark hair. She
Side,
blew up.
is it oh God, what's her name?
Well,
Bailey,
there's two
Bailey.
specifically that no, there's two specifically that like
I
back when
like
Chris
her.
Watts started, they were starting their channels and they blew up to like now they probably are making a career at. Stephanie Harlow is one of them, and
Okay.
then there's another one. Now they, obviously they put a lot of work into their videos and stuff,
Yeah.
but they make money as a true crime creator.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to say, oh, every time, and I'm going to point out like target Natasha, every single time Natasha talks about a case, she needs to donate. Well,
No.
then that's almost
No.
saying that the time
No.
that she puts into stuff that she like, that's her money she's making. So
No.
where
What
do we
they
draw the
need to do
line?
is like, let's just say, for instance, I'm sorry I cut you off with that because you know me, old lady
It's
fart
fine.
head.
It's
Um,
fine. You poop a lot. Just
yeah,
kidding.
I do actually. I do, and that's why I'm screaming fiber all the time. But no, with that case, what you should do, okay, because every time that you mention somebody's name and they're deceased, I mean, the family just can't make like a penny off of that every time. Okay, so
Mhm.
what should happen is that you get the permission, okay, or if you feel up to doing a good deed, you make a percent, they get a percentage. They get a percentage. Not every time that you mention it, but let's just say yearly they get a percentage, or monthly, or whenever they're talking, whenever the case is running. Now if it's an ongoing case like the Christopher Watts case that's never going to die, sadly, then people should get
It's
they should
dead to
just
me.
give it. No, no, they should give a percentage like yearly then, or bi-yearly, or you know what I mean? So the family is getting a percentage, because also again, then this is where I come in with this thought, but then again it's public and it's public record, so you should have signed a document saying that you didn't want it out there,
Well,
or that you should collect funds for this, you know?
and
I'm so
unfortunately,
confused.
yeah, like unfortunately, when you become like the family member of a victim of a murder or a,
Mhm.
a really popular true crime case, you're forced into fame
Yes.
unwillingly. And
Yeah.
so it's like there are really no laws to protect these people, because if we were to say, you know, looking at somebody on YouTube compared to somebody who went to school to be a news anchor
Yeah.
or, an investigator or whatever it is their job is that they make money doing, they may have different levels and different
Yeah.
incomes, and different backgrounds and education. But at the same time, it's almost like telling a news anchor like you can't do your job anymore. Or if it's a hobby, you can't do what you enjoy. And for people who like to hear about true crime cases and people like I don't really watch the news, a lot of it's bullshit,
Yeah.
but I
I
like to
agree.
catch up on news and somebody out there I wouldn't be able to get that news if somebody wasn't out there putting up and going against the grain, going against people that were judging them, and actually going to ground zero and getting information.
Yeah.
So without those people, to me, I wouldn't be able to be lazy. And I
Yeah.
like to be lazy. It's a dirty job and somebody's got to do it.
Yes.
Like I think it was Jason was saying, it's morally wrong. Um, and to some people it is, but to some people it's their passion and they're able to do that. Just like people, and sorry to compare like jobs because they're all different, but just like people that work as a firefighter or an ambulance paramedic, They're
Yeah.
able to deal with broken bones and stomach that and be able to go home and have dinner with their family afterwards. They're
Yeah.
able to stomach and do that kind of stuff that a lot of other people are like, oh my God, I could never do that. Well,
Yeah.
we couldn't, but some people can. And unfortunately, when you're reporting the news, like I said, Gail Weathers, you
Yep.
got to be willing to be a bitch and go through and be like, you know what? Fuck what people say. And
That's my niece right
do
there.
it. So that's why
Yeah.
my
No.
opinion
Okay.
on it is obviously there's people who have personal issues with Natasha or just hate her or Zav Girl even. And obviously we know Mommy Ramblings does.
Vag girl. Sorry.
Why do you guys call her that?
I don't know. It was slipped out one day. I had a little bit too
See, I
much smoky smoke, and one day I was just cracking up, and I called her Vag Girl by accident.
one thing I will say about her is I never saw her do drama or anything. If she,
Hmm.
I mean, here and there with true crime, you know, but uh, I've never seen her be mean or anything like that. So I don't
Well, to
like.
me, she basically, when the Christopher Watts case happened, I found her on Facebook and I found her on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting chatter." So I went in and I asked her questions, and I sent super chats, and I emailed her, and she never got back to me.
Oh,
And I was just like,
she
okay,
probably
this
gets a
woman.
lot of emails though, I'm sure.
Well,
But you know, if
when
you're,
you're in chat, I mean, you do see super chats and stuff. So, I kind of was like, I'm not gonna mess with this one anymore. I'm
mm,
done. Like, so she became Vag Girl to me. But Natasha Cooper, I basically try and basically try to make amends in peace, even though she blasted my personal life out there and doxed me. But I can't do that because I feel that we have too many, differences going on, and I can't deal with that, you know. And
yeah,
she hurt a lot of my friends, and I can't. Sorry.
yeah, and you know, you have your own experience with her, and that's what you're
Yeah,
going based off of.
that's my opinion.
Uh, so somebody said that look up the definition of tragedy pimp. So this is the Urban Dictionary. It says a producer of content that focuses on and targets tragedies such as murders, suicides, stillborn death, robberies, riots,
Hmm.
shooting, fires, and etc. Now, again, this is going to be blunt, but I mean, it's my honest opinion. Scarlett, you and I have been talking about like how people have different styles of stuff.
Hmm.
I mean, if you look at somebody like Mommy Ramblings and then look at somebody like Natasha Cooper, they're polar opposites.
Oh
One of
yeah.
them kind of has more of this different tone and stuff, but altogether, if you're talking about the same topic, you're all doing the same thing, just in different styles.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said about Mommy Ramblings, I mean, my personal opinion, I see right through her outrage about Natasha. I just see it as one other thing for her to be outraged about. Again,
Yeah.
she did not put Natasha or Zavgirl's name in her title, and she's talking about tragedy pimps while she's putting the name of the dead child in there so that and here's what I think. This is only my view and my experience with Mommy Ramblings. I think she put Gannon's name in the title to get the attention to see, oh, I hope the family comes over and sees I'm defending them.
Possibly. Possibly.
Because she's been known to do that with other
Yeah.
family members in the
I mean,
past.
she did that with the Watts. I mean, and I'm not one to hide anything. She did. You just had like your face paused, and you had these like the big smile.
She did. She
Yeah.
did. And you know what? I was very nice to Mommy Ramblings.
Yeah.
For the long time, I put up with for a year people saying that I dragged her tragedy, which never happened. So
I
finally,
remember
one
that.
night when I was fed up, I was like, you know what? I've been blamed for it. And I snapped.
I remember.
Yeah.
I do.
50 Shades of Purple says, I was very disappointed in Zav Girl. I was a strong supporter of her, but
Um,
what she did in the Kylie case was wrong. And now this, I can't, and I unsub to her. Robbie was the first I subbed to. Oh, we were the first to sub to.
oh,
Um, Well, and
to
that's going to happen throughout YouTube. We're going to see people who are like, oh, we don't want to listen to them anymore and stuff. But again, if you're into true crime and you like that, you kind of need people that are going to be willing to get down to the nitty gritty and kind of do things that nobody else is willing to do. You know, like Mexi. I'm not going to say some of the things we did off camera, but some of it could have been considered not wink, wink. It was definitely legal stuff. You know, no trespassing or anything like that. You know,
Yeah, no, if
uh,
you're doing it that way, then you have, you're in the right because you
yeah.
know what you're doing. You're doing things legally.
Bye, Beck. Well, yes, and like even when in me and Mexi have our own history, but he's pretty respectful for the most part when he does stuff.
Hmm.
Sometimes a little bit too ass kissy, in my personal opinion. But before he went to the John Benet Ramsey house, there's new owners that live there now, and he went up and asked them, like, "Can I come in your house?" And can I? And they were like, "No, but you can
Oh
do it
my gosh.
outside the house." And
Yeah,
so
like,
he did his live stream Spirit Box outside the house. Now that happened what in the 90s,
yeah.
John Benet Ramsey. So and that was a child that was pretty brutal.
Oh,
Uh when is it okay to start talking about stuff like that? Because that is a case that everybody still talks about.
oh yeah.
Um and it's
And the
like, is it
Gypsy Rose case.
exploiting because it's a child? Like,
Yeah,
or since she would have been grown up now, it's okay. Like,
yeah.
I what do you think
No,
about
it
that?
it never is okay. I mean, young, old, you're still a child,
Well, then
sadly.
fuck off, Scarlett. Get up. Just kidding. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, you know what? Fuck you too, whomever.
You're like, go take a shit.
Go take a fucking massive dump. Maybe you'll feel better and not say fuck you, Scarlett. How about that?
Sorry, it's the caffeine.
You know what? Maybe I should hit you over the head with my flip flop.
That could work. I like your flip flops, by the way.
I love them. They're so comfy. My daughter stole them already.
She got Save Robbie flip flops. But
Yes,
anyway,
I
sorry.
did.
Keep
That's
going.
okay. No, I think it doesn't
You were
matter
saying it's
how
never
old you
okay.
are. It's just not okay. I don't know. It's so confusing. It's like I love you too, Jen. But
Ooh.
you just have to figure out. John Bonet autopsy photos are out there.
What do you think of
Yeah,
that?
that's again. Did they go and get permission?
I think her parents are deceased, right?
Oh no, I didn't know that.
John, I think both of John Benet Ramsey's parents are deceased, right? Or is it just her brother and her mom?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, here's a good question. And
This is a very validated question right here. Yeah.
well, here's my question for you,
Hmm.
and be blunt. Okay. In the future, let's say 100 years down the road, somebody wants to talk about the Gannon case and they want to go over the autopsy, but there's no more family around. They're all deceased, maybe, descendants, but the parents are, whatever. And it's been years, and, obviously he would have been over 100 years old. You were just saying it's never okay, but when there's no one around to ask permission, what do you think about that then?
I personally think that that is up to the court and they need to sign documents. I think that this is the right of way. People would need to sign a document saying, hey, oh, okay. Saying, hey, I do not want my case or my child's case to be in any future media, public eye, anything down the road. They're going to sign something. That
Uh-huh.
that that has to happen because when you die, like you sign so much paperwork and you go through so much paperwork, as you know, with my mom. Um, it took me 3 years to finalize everything, and down the road, there were paperwork. There, she got cremated,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, well, we need to see documents that she was cremated, and they were like, here's the box. And sadly it was like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to believe that she's in the box, you know that was
Mm.
handed to me.
I know, I'm
So
like that with my pets. I'm like, this better be them and not mixed up with some Chiweenie or something.
exactly, like, I don't want Bertha in my box. I want my mom
Mhm.
in my box. I mean, it's sad, but we have to legally they really should come up with this, because I'll give you a for instance, like what happened to me last Friday. You know,
Hmm.
that is a sealed forever, like nobody will ever get their hands on that.
I'm just going to pause you really fast. So I guess
Go ahead.
John Benet Ramsey, they were saying the brother and the father are still alive, but the mom's passed.
Okay, yeah,
But
she had cancer, I saw Robin said. Sad.
while I have you paused, so are you and is everybody else saying that maybe all of these things need to happen because you're eventually there should be some sort of laws out there that will prevent this from happening because it's damaging to
Yeah,
the family members and friends and stuff like that?
I think so. I think that there needs to be a law out there. Again, with the law that like will come to you and ask you if we can have permission to use your son's autopsy reports or show his naked body. You
I
know,
wouldn't be against that law. I actually like even though like
I think
we,
it's a great law.
yeah, and thank you for the conversation because we have different opinions
You're
on this,
welcome.
like as far as Natasha, but and them. But at the same time, I would say that like I don't, in my personal opinion, I don't think what they did was like makes them terrible people. Would I not want to see those? No, but some like people, like I said, do. But in the future, if there was a law that would protect, at least make a law to make it more so that families can feel safe coming online without
Hmm.
having to see stuff like that because it is
Yes.
kind of like eyeball abuse. It's
Yeah.
it's it's emotional, maybe not intentionally. Sorry, I said that wrong.
No,
I'm
you
not
said it
calling
right.
them abusers, but it can be damaging. So
Yeah.
maybe there should be some sort of laws that will prevent us from clicking on the internet to see our family. Oh, my sister's getting married. Let me go online to look at her wedding pictures. And then boom, there's a picture of your dead mother
Yeah.
getting cut open, so
Yeah.
prevent people from seeing stuff like that.
No, I think you're right. I think that law really needs to be in effect and passed. And that's where a lot of people are coming in and saying that they want to sign a petition, get a petition going for that law. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that that is the best idea I've ever heard. And Una and Letitia and oh God, Angie Ray and a couple of other people. Oh, Wendy English were on my in my chat the other night, and they came up with that idea, and that just was an eye opener. That was a breath of fresh air because people are thinking clearly and legitly for the families, and that is exactly what needs to happen. They need to
Well,
sign a petition or get something signed saying, hey, if it's going on YouTube, let's get the family's permission or the court's permission if it is okay. Other than that, you can't, I think they need to go to the family. It's
okay,
just
I'm
that.
gonna get all true crime on your ass right now. You ready?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Now this is not in the Gannon case because again, I don't know anything about it. I don't have an opinion. I don't know. I don't. It's not that I don't care. I just don't know enough to even
We know
watch.
you
Okay.
really don't give a flying fuck. No, I'm just kidding.
But Michelle just said no censorship. Okay,
Uh,
Peach, hold on. So here's the thing. Okay. What if, and now I'm just going to make up a random story in my head. What if there is two parents? A mom and a dad,
mhm.
and their kid goes missing, and then somebody is arrested. Let's say the aunt is arrested for murder. Okay. All clues point to the aunt. So now you have the two grieving parents in the public, and it becomes a huge case, and the kid was murdered, right?
Mhm.
And so everyone's like, no, don't post these pictures and respect the parents and blah, blah, blah. Well, let's say 2 years down the road, everybody's been simping for these parents and saying, don't put this out and be respectful. But let's say, now I'm not saying this in the Gannon case, I'm just saying it in general. Maybe there's a reason that this should stay to where we aren't censored. Because what if there was one person, a YouTuber named Gale Weathers, that cracked the case and discovered through looking at autopsy photos or certain crime scene photos that were publicly put out there that she put out there and was criticized for? What if it came out that she figured out that the parents actually framed the aunts for murdering their child, and the whole time they were the murderers, and they didn't want you to see the pictures because it would have led to them being caught. What do you think about that?
Then that would be up to the judge, and that would be up to the
Oh, fuck
judicial.
off, Scarlett. Just kidding. I'm
Fine.
kidding.
Hey, I'm still here, am I not?
Well, I'm just saying, and I'm not,
No,
again, don't
no,
twist it around, guys, and think that I'm attacking and saying that's the case in this scenario. I'm just saying in general, maybe
no.
there's
It's a
reasons that
validated point. I think
people,
that it would go to the judge's decision. I think the judge would have to make that decision.
well, fuck the
And
judge, Scarlett. The judge is going to
no,
keep the parents out there so that they can kill somebody else if we
no,
don't
he
get to
would.
the bottom of this.
No, this is what I'm trying to say is that like he would make the decision and the jury would have to go and there would have to be a trial and all this other, legalized stuff. And then
So
it's
wait,
up to
hold
the
on.
judge.
Are you saying like a court proceeding in order to get permission to air it on YouTube, or what would the court proceeding
Oh, I
be?
think a court proceeding would
Hey,
be
Scotty.
awesome to air it on YouTube because
You're talking
they
you're
some
talking about the
people.
court proceeding. Okay, you're talking about airing the court proceeding, like on Gail Weathers' channel, so to speak, right?
No, kind of like kind of like okay, what you just said, like if both parents are guilty and it turned out that the both parents were guilty,
Not
then
Gannon's parents, by the way, folks.
yeah, then or the aunt or whomever was guilty, they go to jail, and then there would have to be by the judge, okay, can we put this out there or should we not? He should make that decision if that makes any sense.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, okay. And Peach was, I missed her comment, but that's a good comment again, too. It says, again, missing people upload autopsy photos publicly of missing people found deceased, um, in case someone is looking for them, basically.
Hmm.
So, uh, I mean, I think, and Michelle was also saying like the courts are busy. It's kind of a like if we were to get permission every single time we wanted to talk about something, like what if you truly wanted and you put a lot of work into something, um, whatever it is, like a book, a story, you were writing a book on somebody, and the only thing that was holding you back after all your hard work and research, and you actually had something really good to present to an audience, was that you didn't get permission from a family member. And so all of that went out the door.
Then it goes out the door, and then you just have to deal with it, and I'm sorry.
I
you
think in
know
that
and
situation, I
I
would be
have I have
Gail
in the past.
Weathers.
I have in the past. I've
Mhm.
I've dealt with rejection on manuscripts, and I've dealt with rejection on my Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
And I have to shape it up. I have to basically get that movie updated to now, like into the present, instead of when I published my book. See what I'm saying? I cannot go back into the past with my book. I have to get everything updated now in order for a movie.
Mhm.
And you think about, oh, we have like historical movies, they do things like from like 1918, like Gone with the Wind or something. And my book, with all that's going on in it, needs to be updated and all. So you
Well, I
know
think we're always going
and
to have.
I know rejection very well. I know rejection very well, and it's part of life. You have to be rejected. Sorry. What are you going to do? You can't get an autopsy report, so you're going to like scream like a baby? Wah, wah, goo, goo. No, you just don't get it. You won't be able to get it.
Well, I've spoke about this before, but I mean, look at the movie Titanic.
Oh, you
That's
bad.
like one of the biggest blockbusters of all time. They actually have slot machines where you hit the bonus round, and
Yes.
in the bonus round, the guy's falling from the top, some random guy, and he hits the rail and he dies in the water. And that's like, woohoo! I won $500, and the whole ship sunk, and tons of people died, but I won. So, like, I mean, tragedy pimps are everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
they're literally in our casinos. I mean, hopefully we're never going to see like a Chris Watts slot machine, or,
I
something
would
where you hit the
die if
bonus and
I
all of a sudden
did.
the oil tanks are going off or whatever. But
That's just awful.
well, no, I'm just saying, like, we
I
don't want to see that kind of
know.
stuff. But why is it okay for us to have a Titanic machine with a bonus? but there's not like a John Benet Ramsey machine or, you know, something like that. It's like, that's tragedy pimping.
It's not mentally stabilizing, for other people, I
But
guess.
I play the Titanic slot machine and I've won on it
I
before.
know. And you played the Wizard of Oz one too.
Yeah, that's my favorite. And Sex and the City,
Contrarian.
but I like the Titanic machine. And lots of people lost their lives in that. And lots of people have horrific memories that survived, but I fucking like to get me a good Titanic bonus. I like when the little necklace pops up in the bonus that she dropped at the bottom of the ocean and I win like $25.
That's nice.
Does that make me a tragedy pimp? Hey,
No, it
Ryan.
doesn't. It does not. It makes the casino a tragedy pimp. No, it makes the maker of the machine a tragedy pimp. No, it doesn't. I mean, that's when people need to realize, okay, tragedy pimping versus realistically, I don't know. I don't have an answer.
My friend Stacy in chat, she met Mexi through the Gannon case because she was saying that she was her friend was the responding detective that answered the call. She's also the one that stayed on the case and testified in court, and Stacy participated in some of the searches. If it wasn't for the Gannon case and Mexi, I wouldn't know Stacy and her husband. So there are some good things that can come besides a bonus on a machine from things. But
Yeah.
that's what I was going to ask you guys though. So in your opinion, in Scarlet, you could be a 1 or a 2, hit a 1.
Maybe
Because,
a 666. Sorry.
Or that.
Thank
So
you.
Mommy Ramblings was saying, oh, these tragedy pimps, but she's putting his name in the title. She's not even covering the case. She's talking about Natasha and Zavgirl. So just address them. You don't have to put it out there for popularity for like his whole family to come over and kiss your ass. So hit a 1 if you think Mommy Ramblings is tragedy pimping off of this. Hit a 2 if you do not. I am a 1. I think that she is.
I'm a 666, which is a 1 or a 2, or it could be anything, but in this case, it would have to be a 1.
Oh, get your satanic ass out here and go play the Titanic machine at the casino.
We don't have one.
Okay. Oh,
Actually, won back my retainer from last week, so.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw that. That's amazing.
Love it.
Scotty says, I think the difference would be that nobody is still alive that knew someone that died on the Titanic, whereas the John Benet Ramsey was recent, the recent past. So in like 200 years, if there was like a Columbine high school slot machine, do you think that would be, because listen, like the Titanic, that was terrible. Or like a 9/11 slot machine. It's like,
stop it.
No, but I'm just saying,
yeah.
But no, that brings up a good question though.
No,
See, you had a reaction from that. That's like terrible. But the Titanic, can you imagine sinking into the bottom of the ocean in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere, in the freezing around a bunch of icebergs, and knowing as you're laying there, like sinking into the bottom, that one day somebody is going to win money on a slot machine from your tragedy situation? So it's like, when is it okay? Like, when does it stop being too soon and okay to be like, okay, now we're going to make a movie. Now we're going to make a slot machine. Like, when is it okay?
I don't think it. Yeah.
So are you if you walk by a Titanic machine, are you ever going to play it again after this conversation? Because I am.
I probably will give it a shot.
Oh, shit. I was going to, never mind. I'll tell you that joke privately.
Oh,
I was
going
to say something about Biden. You'll give it a shot. Okay. Well,
I'll give it a shot.
See, and it's like, well, what? And we go to stand-up comedy shows, and they make jokes all the time. Like, you don't see a Holocaust slot machine or anything like that. Like, these are tragic. Like, it may not be as big. Some may be different levels of how severe they were, but even one life of a person that suffered is bad. So, yay, it's okay for Titanic, but it's not okay for the other ones. Like, is it okay at all? I mean, to me, a slot machine is a slot machine. I just like hitting a bonus on whatever. So I'd probably give them all a whirl.
No, I would too.
Be honest.
I would too.
Hey,
but
Lauren.
I mean, If I ever did see like a Holocaust one, I'd probably have it removed. I don't know.
I
It's
couldn't
weird.
see somebody like
Oh,
hitting the bonus and being like, "Hail!" You know, I couldn't see that. And if they
sorry.
did, that would be pretty fucking terrible.
No, I just think of my dad whenever I hear that. I'm like, Jesus, poor man. He was a survivor through all that, and my grandmother was in the concentration camp, and she got out and
Yeah.
was
So
reunited. But I mean, then it that in itself took years to get over. Same thing with repression. Same thing with slavery. It took years, and it takes years to get over this, but you're never really over it. So if I was to walk by one, I'd probably be like, okay, you know what, that fucking sucks, and whoever invented that machine is a fucking loser. That's just my opinion. And
right.
I would boycott that machine. I would not play it. I would not want to look at it. And I would actually mention something to the casino manager and say, hey, you know what? Like, that machine is wrong to have here. Now, if you're going to be a Karen, and there are Karens out here, then
I
I'm
could
sure
be a
that
Karen sometimes.
people, hey, I can be one too. But I'm sure that people are probably going to say the same thing about the Titanic machine, and you will not have a Titanic machine in your casino.
What? I want to play the Titanic machine. It's so fun.
Yeah, but go to the person that invented it and have him make up a little mini one.
No, I want a big one. That shakes. It has vibration and stuff like
No,
the
and
Wizard
you're
of Oz.
sitting in the chair and you're like vibrating all over and like, oh, this feels good.
Yeah, I want it to like spray water on me and stuff.
Oh
4D.
God.
Teresa Green brings up a good point too. It's saying we need people who can be strong enough to see, handle, and investigate a dead body. Some people can do this, others can't.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's morbid curiosity. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are just curious or they like to do that kind of stuff. And oh, okay, Dragon Star. And then Scotty said, I do know that you can go right now here on YouTube and view the walkthrough video from the McDonald's massacre back in the 80s in California, and it
Oh,
shows little
geez.
kids' bodies laying dead.
Like, yeah, that's an issue.
So, and it's like,
Yeah.
is it because it's in the 80s that people are just okay with it being there? I'm sure a lot of people aren't. I'm sure you're not, Scarlett, but
Yeah. I don't even I remember that, but I don't. And I guess there's a reason why I don't remember it. But yeah, I have an issue with, like, if you're gonna want to look that up and hunt it down and and bring it up. It's like, it's basically what it is let let everyone rest in peace. You know, it's like, let everyone rest in peace. People need to rest in peace and not
but
have
if you see a
brought up again.
Titanic machine,
Then I'd feel sad playing it, and I'd cry and be like, "Oh no, poor Rose,
I'm gonna
poor this,
be
poor that."
100% with you. I do not feel bad playing that machine.
Hmm.
To me, it's just a movie.
Yeah.
Well, plus I also believe the Titanic conspiracy. Have you heard it?
No, I haven't.
It got switched with the, I think, Olympic for insurance purposes.
Are
I
you
believe that.
kidding?
Yeah,
Oh boy.
look it up. It's interesting. But hold on, I'm reading what Dragon Star sent me.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on.
Sure.
Group. In the. Hold on. Give me a minute, okay?
Okay. So everybody, hope everyone's having a good day. Minus what's happening with this case and what has happened with this case.
Dra- Dragon Star, did you want me to read this, or I don't know if you wanted me to read it or not, or if you wanted, I could drop you a link too if you want. It's kind of explaining kind of what happened, how I think Natasha got the video, and she was just
Oh.
It's 1:30 a.m. for me. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, okay. She wants me to read it. Okay. So Dragon Star says, it's kind of long, but she says, I'm currently watching her live and I feel like I need to clear something up. It was me who posted in Natasha's Recline Facebook page asking if she had seen the video that had been posted all over Facebook and other groups. She's talking about the video of the autopsy, I believe, or the video of Zav Girl going over the autopsy. She said, I'm in a group where someone posted the link to it. I downloaded the link and sent it to Natasha in a private message. I was very clear that I was not posting the link in the group. I was sending to Natasha. I also made it clear that what Natasha did with it was up to her. After I saw what Natasha had seen, after Natasha saw the link, you could see their name pop up on Messenger, that they've read the message. I deleted the link from my messenger right away. And she gave me a receipt for the screenshot that she attached. She said, I watched 15 minutes of this 59-minute video from the link. She recognized Zav Girl's voice and couldn't watch any further when she started zooming in on the maggots on his body, etc.
Oh,
I didn't know that was even on there. I didn't know if Natasha was going to cover this as a true crime discussion or if she was going to cover it as calling Zav Girl out for the way she presented the pictures. I mean, that is pretty bad. I didn't know maggots were even involved in this situation at all.
Yeah.
Natasha stated that she had put in her own FOIA request for these pictures as well. So I do not know if she used Zav's material or if she had the file from elsewhere. Dragonstar continues to say, I'm not against showing autopsy pictures, etc., if it is done in a respectful way and gives the victim dignity. At no point did Natasha show pictures of genitals or zoomed in on Gannon's face. Mainly what she did was show the injuries and where they were located, and the chat was having an informative and meaningful discussion regarding the horrible murder of Gannon. The images all had the evidence numbers next to them, so they were what was presented at the trial. They were not the entire discovery, etc. I also wanted to say I find MRB to be highly hypocritical of saying that Natasha is selling, quote unquote, autopsy photos behind a paywall. Firstly, you cannot have a live showing content like this on YouTube. That's a good point. You'd have to do it somewhere else. The only way to do this was to go to Patreon and hold the live there. Secondly, I would much rather discuss content like this with a creator who is going to be respectful of the victim. The group I found the link in was not being respectful, and people were more gawking for the gore of it rather than looking at it that a young child was murdered, and that is the reality of what happened to him. Okay, I don't want to go on and on, nor am I white knighting for Natasha. She says, she doesn't need me to fight her battles, as you know well. I just wanted to clear up the rumors of where Natasha initially became aware of the link going around on Facebook, TikTok, and Reddit. It was because I had asked if Natasha had seen it and what her opinion was of it. I do not believe Natasha covered this on Patreon to make money. She covered this case from the very beginning, and I believe she genuinely wanted to show the reality of what happened to Gannon actually was. The fact is, Zavgirl posted a Dropbox link that was downloaded over 2,500 times by the time Dragonstar had downloaded it. And that how I imagine it became posted all over Facebook, which is how I was made aware of its existence in the first place. Dragonstar ends in saying, I sincerely apologize for my own part in this and for the hurt it has caused not only the family of Gannon, but for members of the community who have also lost a child or loved ones. Regards, Dragonstar.
Wow.
So there's that. But that is a good point. You can't show that on YouTube, and if people want to see that. So I see both sides. I see how people can be upset about it and stuff. And I appreciate the good conversation you guys have had. Yeah, thank you, Dragonstar. And thank you for being respectful, and thank you for helping me poop today, Scarlett.
Oh, you're welcome. No, and Dragon Star, that's an honest thing, and kudos for
Reply.
that. Kudos for that.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, I have seen other people that may not have known who Natasha was before that have channels or do true crime and giving their 2 cents, but they're a lot more respectful about it than the people that already had a problem with her to begin with. Now, you and Jur, you guys just stated your opinions yesterday. You weren't tragedy pimping with anyone's names in there. You weren't being disrespectful. You're just stating your opinion. But there's some people, Merb, that are really just using this as like an excuse just to go at them and look like the hero to get
Yeah.
the family's attention. Like, to me, that's disgusting.
No,
If you're
that's more than
only doing something to get the approval or get in good with a family, like, leave the family alone in all aspects. If you're saying leave the family alone, don't talk about that, well, then don't bait them either to try to get on their good side, because that's disgusting too.
exactly.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah, Darlene, I just didn't know that was in the photos.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess I don't think of that, but now I know. Peach says, I respect not everyone agrees, but I also don't have an issue with it myself, long as she was respectful. I agree with that, Peach. I'm on that side too. I just wanted to be clear that the rumors going around that Natasha's moderators watched Zav Girls Live and sent it to her. That's a lie that MRB and Voices is saying. Well, thank you for clearing that up.
Hmm.
Yeah, Jur and Scarlett did. I was listening in and out.
Thank you.
Obviously I was busy, but you guys, you had your own very firm opinions on it, but you weren't dragging anybody, and you were just, being respectful.
Well, something about people from Belfast, I have a thing for, and not like a thing, but like, I mean, I tend to lean towards their voices, and to me it's very soothing, and I can communicate well with them. It's just me. I know it's
Right.
weird, but it is just me. I don't know, because maybe I'm like part Irish in my journey down the road, which is true.
Oh, don't blame it on that. Would you come over here on the Titanic? Just kidding.
Ah, ah.
50 Shades of Purple says, put yourself in the family's shoes. Like I said, I've lost a child and would not want anyone by sides from me to share my son's photos in memory of him. Good, only my opinion. I'm sickened by this, and I'm sorry for your loss. And
Sorry.
yeah, I mean, it hits close to home. Hey, Daniel, with a lot of people. Hey, Shift.
Is
So
that
everybody has
Daniel,
their
not my
own.
ex-husband?
What?
Is that Daniel, not my ex-husband?
I don't know. Is that
Okay.
your ex-husband?
I hope not.
No, I don't think that's your
Okay,
ex-husband.
good.
So it hits people differently. Obviously, if, I wouldn't want anybody that I was super close to that passed away. I wouldn't want to see I barely want to go to an open casket, just
Yeah.
because they never look the same, and you don't want to remember them like that.
Yeah.
But we also have to remember, like, especially when it's a popular case, that the internet, it's a good place to get support. Obviously, you can have good communities and stuff like that, but it's also very dangerous because you're going to see something like that. I mean, it's
Oh
just,
yeah.
you can't avoid it if you're watching TV or coming online. You cannot really avoid that. So
It kind of
whether we're
sucks
talking about
because
laws or putting it behind paywalls and the reasoning for putting it behind paywalls, I mean, it is a good defense to say, and not everybody does this for that reason, but I mean, it could be a good defense to say, hey, if people are putting stuff like this behind a paywall, it'll make it more difficult for a family to click on. But then again, people can go and screenshot out of whatever's behind that paywall and put it wherever they want to.
Yeah. And also, I think that
Morning,
screenshotting
Tiffany.
is a good morning, Tiff. I think that screenshotting is another thing that should be held into accountability with a lot of things. But then again, who am I? You know, just a 53-year-old person that thinks old school. But it's crazy. I mean, because we all screenshot stuff. We all
Mm.
take. I mean, I was actually looking at a video yesterday of oh God, what
Oh my God.
was it? Shit, I forgot where this was. But there was a family that was being like it was about this lady, and she was like in the drug cartel, and they arrested her, and everyone, and she had like a normal family. She was normal, and she lived her normal life, but she was part of being a queen of cocaine and drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot the name of it. It wasn't the queen of cartel or something, but she was getting arrested, and everyone was standing there filming the arrest. Everyone, like even her kids, even her family was filming it. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting there and I'm like looking at this lady, and I'm like, I felt bad for her in some way, and then I was like, well, she kind of deserved it because drug cartel. But it's like, and then they didn't, it was just weird. It was like, why would you want to film this? Like, why are you filming this? And what purposes is it? And, then later down the road, people were like sitting there laughing at it, and talking about it.
Scarlett,
And I'm just weird.
I got pepper sprayed yesterday, kind of for the same situation. Well, I
You
got
did
pepper spray
not.
in my mouth. Yes, I did. My tongue was
No.
numb. Uh-huh. Yes,
Oh my
just
God.
yesterday. Because I was downtown, and this guy, he started chasing this other guy. So my nosy ass kind of
No.
goes in the vicinity, and this guy's chasing this other man, and the other man wanted nothing to do with him, and he's like screaming at him and whatever. And so the guy kind of gets away from him. So I'm standing over by the guy. He's like, get that guy away from me, telling everyone around. And so the guy comes up to like swing at him, and I'm standing right there, like going for my phone, kind of like, do I record this, or, this is kind of entertaining.
Hey, yeah.
And the other guy that's being chased just pulls out his pepper spray and is spraying him in the face and shit. And I'm just standing there like watching, like within feet of these people, just like, because they were both kind of crazy. And yeah, I ended up, my tongue was numb for about
Because
an
your mouth
hour.
was open and you were like, oh.
And my right eye kind of felt weird for a while, but it's really cool. I thought it was like a spray, but no, I thought he was spraying water at him at first. It was
You
like
were
a
like, yes,
string.
feed me the water. It's hot and I'm melting out here while you're getting murdered or something. Crazy.
Yeah, Tiffany, it's just like a string of water, like, and he was going at it like nonstop. But I got pepper spray in my mouth yesterday from being nosy. So I
Is it
get it.
still?
Like, there's people that stand around and want to film everything.
Yeah, and look at what happened. Karma hit you, smacked you right in the mouth.
Yeah.
Sad.
But I wouldn't change a thing.
It's worse bad than
Because then the
Oscar.
guy pulled out a knife. It got even more interesting.
No.
And then yep. Mm-hmm.
And didn't you wish that you had your butcher's knife with you? And been like, you don't come near me or I'll chop your tongue off.
No, at that point, I kind of wish that I didn't stick around, because then I had to kind of fill out a statement.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? So I was like,
involved,
but it still was worth it. I would have done it all over again just for that, because it was really
Only
entertaining.
you.
Yeah.
Only you.
But I mean, people are nosy, and people are nosy on different levels. So especially when it comes to autopsies or different ages of people and stuff, like everybody has it hits people differently. So we have to understand that the people that are very sensitive and hurt by stuff like that, we have to understand where they're coming from. And then we also have to understand that our news doesn't just come from people that don't mind their own fucking business. Which I put the quote of Joyce Meyer that our lives would be easier if we minded our own business. But if we also look at it from the other side, is we wouldn't get the news as easily if there were people that minded their own business, everyone.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But
You got
also,
nosy about your teaser?
We need to also call the cops when we need to call the cops and stop filming things. You know, it's just
Okay, let's take one step at a time.
sorry.
Scarlett, okay, some things are interesting that is worth getting pepper sprayed for. Okay.
Okay,
Jeez.
that's you. I'll just taser a motherfucker.
Then you need to go hang out with Tiffany because she's got her taser over there.
I got a taser flashlight.
Oh shit. You had to go there, didn't you?
No, I'm sorry. It's true. I do.
Oh wait,
I
that
do.
wasn't a pun?
No, I do.
Oh
I have
my
a taser
god.
flashlight from Amazon. Cost me like
Tiffany will laugh about
$99.
it.
I'm sorry. What? It's
Oh,
true.
Tiffany, that she didn't even mean to make that a
No,
joke,
Tiffany, I
Tiffany.
didn't mean it. I did not mean it that way. Please don't take it offensively. It's true. I'm not lying. Oh my god, I feel horrible now. The
We
fuck?
tested the taser on Brad with a beard. Oh, did his
Mm.
beard catch on fire? Is that even possible?
Did it singe? The smell of that.
Oh yeah, that's not a good smell. Teresa
No.
says I started cleaning out my wardrobe and then Robbie came live. Now I have clothes everywhere over my bed. Ooh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go sit by the pool in the sunshine.
Nice.
On some laps. Hey, so I'm like trying to be more healthy lately and stuff. So I'm not doing nicotine unless I get stressed out. I'm not doing a lot of sweets, but I had ice cream the last 2 nights. But throughout the day, I'm not, and I'm not drinking alcohol. Have you guys heard of Katy Perry's new non-alcoholic beverage line that came out for people who still want to drink something that's non-alcoholic, but not like an, what is that, an O'Doul's or something that's not
Yeah,
going to give you a
Dos
buzz?
Equis. Like a Dos Equis.
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
has like stuff in it like what is that, rashiki mushrooms and like
Oh,
stuff that actually gives you a calmness to you at social
very
events,
nice.
but not drunk, and you can drink it all day if you want to.
Chamomile.
There might be chamomile in it. It's called
Oh,
de soie or something. I saw it advertised today. I was like, holy crap, I'm gonna try that.
oh, I might even try that.
Yeah, it's hold
I
on.
don't drink a lot, but like when I go out socially and like at your wedding, I drank, but like,
Oh, I
and that
drank
was
at my
like
wedding too.
once in a while, like I know I'll go to the casino, have one cocktail, and then if I'm doing good and want to stay, then I'll have another one, and then that's it. But yeah,
Tiffany,
like
me too.
if there's things that are not alcoholic, non-alcoholic, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot.
So it says it's called Tres Rosé. It's TRES with like a hyphenated thing, ROSE.
Wow.
And the description says is a bold and balanced summertime sip bursting with notes of tart raspberry and soft, earthy rubose, crisp and refreshing. Tres Rosé is created with adaptogens such as lion's mane and saffron that support a mood boosting buzz
Ooh.
without the booze. It's non alcoholic, 35 calories per can, no artificial colors or flavors, lightly carbonated, vegan, and gluten free. And packs include 4 8-ounce cans. And I am going to be trying it, but it's expensive.
Oh my goodness. Are you gonna have a fund?
a Tres Rose fund, and then I'm gonna scam you all, and I'm gonna take it up to the casinos, and I'm gonna get shit wasted with the money instead while I'm playing the Titanic machine. Ha!
Get it? Shit faced, everybody,
Oh
because it
God,
started off with the poop. And by the way, I'm outside and Luna just pooped. By the way, she came running over and she's like, "I
lucky,
pooped. I pooped."
lucky bitch.
Yes.
Ever heard of that Spanish magician? They disappear without a trace. Shoot.
Ah.
It's not real, right? That's a Spanish joke, right?
Oh my goodness.
Protein shake fund.
Protein shake
Yeah.
fun. I like that.
Well, did you have anything to say in closing? Because we talked for a while on that. But thank you for having respectful conversation. People were pretty respectful for the most part.
No, that's it, really. I mean, I love you and I'm glad that you aired this. I really am. And I can't thank you enough for having me up here, because basically I'm pretty much done with the whole situation. And, I spoke my piece on it. And you were the last person I spoke my piece with, and that makes it even more special for me. So sadly,
And I
sadly,
mean,
but you know, it is
let's
what
end
it
this
is.
conversation where it began, and you helped me. You were a very supportive friend outside of YouTube
Absolutely.
today, and you listened to me vent about being constipated, and you helped me poop.
No problem. And it geared my dog to having a poop problem, and then she
Yeah.
pooped.
I'm
And I
gonna
hope
see if
Brooklyn gets a
Brooklyn.
poop.
I'm gonna take my dog out and see if she'll have a poop. Everybody go have a really good poop and see if you
Yeah,
have
have
a
a
really good
healthy,
day.
happy period and poop. That's what I
Yeah.
always say.
Yeah.
Always.
Live
Happy
long and
period.
poop spur.
Poop.
Live long and poop stir.
I love
It'll
that.
prosper. That's a tongue twister. Live long and poop spur.
Poopster.
You don't
Poopster.
drink
Poopster.
alcohol.
Poopster.
Bye, guys.
All
Everyone's
right.
saying bye. Okay, I love you, Scarlett. Thank you for
Love you
being
too.
respectful and fiber.
Yes. Fiber. I love you guys. Have a good day.
Love you, Scarlett. Put a number 2 in the chat if you put a number 2 in the air if you did the Dunham shift. It's a Nicki Minaj song. You're hyperactive, but you don't drink alcohol. You could use a calming natural drink. Yeah, Teresa, I'm going to try it. I'm interested to see how it is. But yeah, everyone have a good poop. I think Kitty just had a good poop. You want to come say bye, Kitty? You want to come say bye? Look how big he's getting. Is he getting big? Look how long his body's getting. Aw, he's such a good boy. Say bye. Bye, Gizmo. All right, guys. I hope you have a really good day, and I will talk to you later. Bye. No chance. No dance. No chance. No dance. No chance. Give me second chances.